Welcome back to our discussion on class apes. So we were discussing about the salient features of class apes. We discussed three main heads under the salient features: the morphological features, the skeletal features, as well as the circulatory system. Coming to the respiratory system, so the respiratory system is also having many modification to suit their mode of life. The first thing is that the lungs are non-elastic. That means the lungs does not contract and relax, or it is not elastic, it's steady, and it is provided with many air sac without a diaphragm. Diaphragm is absent in the case of aves. So these air sacs are internal compartments to hold air and facilitate the presence of air in the lungs always. So always there will be the presence of air in the lungs. So to facilitate that, this particular aves, they're having their air sac. So we'll take a detailed or a close look on this air sacs. So here you can see the black color which is shown here is the non-elastic lung, and you can see around 9 air sacs are present in birds. So these are the air sacs which are seen, the sacs which are seen surrounding. The black thing which is seen there is the non-elastic lungs. From there the air sac arise. So here is it is another view of the air sacs. About 9 air sacs are present in birds. You can also see here the extensions of the air sac moving from the lungs. So those extensions, they connect to the pneumatic bones because they are air-filled bones and the air comes from the lungs. And the function of this particular air sacs can be detailed from this particular diagram. So here you can see that during inhalation, that is when the bird takes in air, you can see that the lungs is filled with air and also the air sacs are filled with air. So during inhalation, the lungs or the alveoli where the gaseous exchange occurs is filled with air. So during exhalation, what happens is, in normal cases, in the case of humans, during exhalation, we exhale out the air which is present inside. As a result, gaseous exchange does not take place efficiently. So, but here in the case of birds, you can see that during exhalation, the air sacs empty the air. Okay, and the lungs which was already present in the air will move out, and the air from the air sac is now moving into the lungs. As a result, both during exhalation as well as inhalation, the lungs will be filled with air, so that respiratory efficiency will be increased. So even under both the situation, inhalation and exhalation, the lungs will be doing the process of oxygenation. So this steady oxygenation, or why we might think why they require such steady oxygenation. Always oxygen is being, without any break, oxygen is being transmitted into the RBCs. The reason is that because of their high metabolic rate, they are having very high metabolic rate because they are doing a very metabolically active process which is called as flight. And to contribute to that oxygen, there will be a severe burst in the usage of oxygen. So to compensate for that, or to facilitate that particular process, such an adaptation is present, which is the presence of air sacs. So the main function of air sacs is to ensure that air is always present in the non-elastic lungs for gaseous exchange during inhalation as well as exhalation. Another important structure which is connected with the respiratory system is the sound box or the syrinx. So syrinx is a chamber which is situated at the lower part of the trachea, where the trachea divides into the bronchi. It is seen towards the lowermost area of the lowermost region of the trachea, and this chamber, or this particular chamber, it consists of several folds in the inner lining, several folds of the membrane. The membrane inside in this particular chamber like structure is folded, and this foldings are called as the tympaniform membranes. And when air passes through this particular folds, there will be vibration of this particular force, of this particular membranous folds, and that results in the production of sound. And this is what is called as the syrinx or the sound box in birds. Analogous to that, mammals also have a sound box which is called as larynx, but larynx is situated up of the at the upper part of the trachea, but here the syrinx is situated at the lower part of the trachea. And in the case of larynx, we are having elastic or the cords, elastic cords are present, which creates a vibration, but here there is a membranous force. So that is the main difference between the larynx and the syrinx. Syrinx is seen in birds and larynx is seen in mammals. The sound box of mammals is called as the larynx. So that's with the respiratory system. Coming to digestive system, so as I discussed or as we discussed earlier, they are having or they are metabolically active. As a result, their digestive system should also be modified in such a manner. Coming to the digestive system, the esophagus is having a dilated crop. So as crop is also present in many other organisms, main function of crop is to store food. So they take up food whenever available and they go for flight, so that the stored food can be utilized for metabolism. Next is the presence of a muscular gizzard at the hind portion of the stomach. The hind region of the stomach is having a highly muscular structure which is called as a gizzard. Inside the gizzard, there are stone-like structures which are also called as the gastrolith. These gastrolith helps in crushing the seeds, then grains, etc. Another important structure that is present in the digestive system is the rectal ceca. So the rectal ceca is present at the junction of the small intestine and the rectum. The rectum is very short because in birds the rectum is very small, and it does not function in storing digestive waste. Birds do not store digestive waste. Whenever the digestive waste reaches the rectal region, it is passed out in at that particular moment itself. There is no storage of waste. So storing rectum is not present in birds. So at the junction of the rectum and the small intestine, you have the rectal ceca, or a pair of rectal ceca is present, and the function of the ceca is fermentation of vegetable based food. So they assist in fermentation. The two other functions of the ceca are water retention and also immune surveillance. So these are the important salient features that you see in the digestive system of apes. Coming to the excretory system, the kidneys are metanephric. Another modification in their body to reduce weight is urinary bladder is absent. That means there is no storage of excretory as well as digestive waste. There is no urinary bladder, no excretory waste is stored. The rectum is very short and it does not function in storage, so that no waste is stored inside the body. Whenever the waste material reaches, it is expelled at the moment. They are uricotelic, that is excretory waste is uric acid. The ceca or the cloaca is three-chambered. That means cloaca is a common opening for the reproductive, excretory as well as digestive waste, and it is having three chambers. The first chamber is called as the coprodium, which is the connection where the digestive waste comes. The second one is urodium, where the excretory and reproductive ducts open. And the last one is the proctodium, and it is the region where you can see the bursa of Fabricius, which is the immune organ, or the immune organ in the case of birds, the bursa of Fabricius. So this is with the excretory system. And moving on to the next one, which is the sense organs. Their eyes are sharp and surrounded by sclerotic plates. Sclerotic plates are nothing but bony, a plate made up of bones which is surrounding the eye. That is called as the sclerotic plate, and they contain special structures in the eye which is called as pectin. So pectin is vascularized, pigmented, a comb-like structure which is projecting into the vitreous chamber, and this pectin is seen at the point where the optic nerve enters the eye. So it is at that particular point, which is a blind near from the blind or that particular region of the blind spot, you can see this comb-like structure, which is called as a pecten. And the function of pecten is nothing but they aid in power of accommodation. The olfactory organs are poorly developed in the case of, because they do not require the sense of olfaction in a great manner. As a result, the olfactory organs are poorly developed. Coming to the reproductive system and the fertilization, sexes are separate, males and females are seen separate. They are having internal fertilization where the sperms are deposited inside the body of the female. Testes are paired, but the paired female reproductive structures are absent. Both the right ovary and right oviduct is absent. They are oviparous and lay cleidoic eggs. Cleidoic eggs means the eggs which are having the covering of shell, covered with a calcareous shell. And birds also exhibit parental care. So these are the salient features of class apes. So in the next session, we'll be discussing with the classification. So in this particular session, these two sessions on the salient features, we discussed about the major salient features of the morphological features, followed by the very important skeletal features, then the circulatory system, which is followed by the digestive and excretory system, and the last one, which is sense organs and reproductive system. So thanks for hearing. So in the next session, we'll be discussing the classification of class apes.